For anyone who lived through the 1990s, it's astonishing to look back and see how profoundly the internet transformed daily life. The early excitement around emerging e-commerce sites was palpable, as entrepreneurs and tech enthusiasts predicted that shopping would one day happen primarily online. Yet in that same era, countless internet startups flamed out during the dot-com crash, never realizing their ambitious vision. Only a handful survived, and among those survivors, Amazon stood out. Founded by Jeff Bezos in 1994, this once modest online bookstore grew into a global powerhouse that redefined retail, cloud computing, entertainment, and much more. Today, we'll explore the Amazon miracle and how Bezos steered the company from a tiny operation run out of a garage to one of the largest enterprises in modern history. By the end, you'll see why Amazon's journey remains one of the most celebrated and scrutinized stories in American business. Jeff Bezos was born in 1964 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and displayed an early knack for invention. As a teenager, he rigged an electric alarm to keep his younger siblings out of his room, hinting at the creative mind that would later revolutionize online shopping. He excelled academically, studied electrical engineering and computer science at Princeton University, and entered the finance world soon after graduation. Eventually, Bezos ended up at D.E. Shaw & Company, a hedge fund in New York that was known for applying sophisticated mathematical models to market. It was there, while researching new business opportunities on the burgeoning internet, that Bezos stumbled across a statistic. The web was growing at an annual rate of 2,300%. He realized that this explosive growth was a once-in-a-lifetime chance to build something big. In 1994, Bezos left D.E. Shaw, driving from New York City to Seattle with a plan to start an online retail operation. Why Seattle? Partly because it was close to a major book distributor, Ingram, which could quickly supply the new venture with inventory. Bezos recognized that books were the perfect product to sell online. They were standardized goods. One copy of a particular title was essentially the same as another, and the vast selection of published works eclipsed what any physical bookstore could feasibly hold in stock. By focusing on selection and convenience, Bezos believed he could carve out a meaningful niche. Operating initially out of his garage, Bezos chose the name Amazon in reference to the world's largest river, an apt metaphor for the ambition he had for the company. It went live as an online bookstore in July 1995. The website was rudimentary by today's standards, but it offered a selection that dwarfed what local shops could carry. Customers could find obscure and out-of-print titles, browse user reviews, and enjoy home delivery, all novel concepts at the time. Almost immediately, Amazon attracted attention. People marveled at the novelty of choosing books online instead of browsing a physical bookstore. Sales started to roll in not just from Seattle but from all over the United States, then from around the world. Before long, the company's success allowed Bezos to secure funding from venture capitalists keen on the future of e-commerce. In its first few years, Amazon expanded its product categories beyond books, initially moving into music and videos, then branching out further into consumer electronics, toys, and other products. The central theme was always selection, speed, and customer experience. The late 1990s tech boom provided an infusion of excitement and capital for internet startup. Amazon's growth felt unstoppable, leading the company to go public in May 1997. Skeptics, however, questioned whether online retail could ever match the profitability of established brick-and-mortar chains. Amazon's revenues soared, but it consistently reported losses because Bezos made a conscious choice to reinvest everything into growth. Fulfillment centers, technology infrastructure, and marketing initiatives required heavy spending. Bezos was upfront in shareholder letters. He cared more about long-term market leadership than about immediate profit. Get big fast became a mantra, mirroring the ethos of the dot-com era. When the dot-com bubble burst around 2000, many internet companies collapsed under unsustainable business models or dwindling investor confidence. Amazon felt the shock, too, seeing its share price plunge. Critics predicted that the company would go the way of its peers, yet Amazon managed to survive. Bezos swiftly cut costs, closed unprofitable ventures, and focused on operational efficiency. He also secured debt financing when equity investments dried up. These measures were painful but effective, eventually restoring a measure of investor confidence. Through this turbulent time, Amazon refined its core strategy. The company stayed true to its e-commerce roots but became more disciplined, launching programs like Super Saver Shipping, which offered free shipping on qualifying orders over a certain threshold. This strategy increased order sizes and improved customer loyalty, reflecting Bezos' obsession with a frictionless buying experience. Amazon also introduced third-party marketplace capabilities, allowing other businesses to sell products on Amazon's platform. This expanded selection while generating additional revenue streams, including fees and commissions, without the risk of holding that inventory directly. The early 2000s marked another quiet but transformative shift at Amazon. The company realized that the sophisticated infrastructure it had built to run its own operation, data centers, computing power, storage, could be repurposed and sold as a service to other businesses. Launched in 2006, Amazon Web Services, AWS, offered on-demand computing and storage resources, effectively pioneering what we now call cloud computing. Initially, AWS was not widely understood outside of technical circles, but it has grown to become Amazon's most profitable segment. By renting server space and computational power, Amazon not only diversified its revenue but also established itself as a backbone of the Internet. Scores of startups and established companies began relying on AWS to run their application, catapulting the cloud revolution forward. Meanwhile, on the consumer-facing side, Amazon continued to evolve. In 2005, the company introduced Amazon Prime, a membership service that offered unlimited 2-day shipping on millions of items. The program began as an experiment to see if customers would pay an annual fee for faster, more convenient shipping. It turned out they would, and then some. Over time, Prime added streaming video, streaming music, free Kindle ebooks, and a range of other perks. The subscription-based model locked in customer loyalty and encouraged members to default to Amazon for their daily shopping. With tens of millions of subscribers, and eventually hundreds of millions worldwide, Prime transformed Amazon from an online store into an indispensable service, raising the bar for e-commerce convenience across the entire industry. Around the same period, Amazon made a splash in digital reading with the launch of the Kindle e-reader in 2007. Jeff Bezos championed a seamless, invisible technology that would let readers carry hundreds of books in a single, lightweight device. The Kindle store offered quick downloads, making ebooks more accessible than ever before. While some publishers feared digitization might erode print sales or give Amazon too much leverage, the Kindle helped accelerate the ebook market and further established Amazon as an innovator rather than just a retailer. The company's momentum continued into the 2010s, though not without controversy. With scale came scrutiny. Publishers accused Amazon of monopolistic practices in e-book pricing negotiations. Labor groups criticized working conditions in the company's fulfillment centers. Small businesses worried they couldn't compete against Amazon's massive logistics network. Jeff Bezos often responded by emphasizing customer focus and data-driven decision-making, which he believed would yield the best outcomes in the long run. He likened Amazon's approach to work hard, have fun, make history. But critics questioned whether the have fun part was overshadowed by relentless pressure for efficiency. Nevertheless, Amazon's growth story remained largely unstoppable. The company ventured into entertainment, producing original TV shows and films under the Amazon Studios banner. Prime Video challenged established players like Netflix, backed by the allure of free streaming for Prime members. The company also introduced devices like the Echo smart speaker, powered by the Alexa voice assistant. This product further entrenched Amazon in customers' daily lives, enabling hands-free ordering, home automation, and a new wave of voice-activated applications. Financially, Amazon's valuation soared. For years, skeptics pointed to its razor-thin profit margin. Yet investors seemed to accept that profits were being plowed back into growth, effectively betting on future dominance. Over time, Amazon started turning consistent, albeit modest, quarterly profits, even as it continued heavy investment in new markets like India, grocery delivery, and healthcare. The rise in AWS profitability played a significant role here, offsetting the slim margins of e-commerce. Bezos himself became one of the world's richest individuals, using some of his wealth to fund Blue Origin, a spaceflight company dedicated to making space more accessible. As Amazon expanded internationally, it encountered new challenges. Different markets brought regulatory hurdles, cultural nuances, and entrenched local competitors. But the basic recipe, competitive pricing, vast selection, quick delivery, proved appealing globally. Localizing its supply chains and offering region-specific services became essential strategy. In large emerging markets, Amazon found itself competing against homegrown giants like Alibaba in China or Flipkart in India, sometimes gaining ground, sometimes struggling. Yet the overarching narrative was one of unstoppable reach. Amazon sought to become the everything store on a planetary scale. With that reach came a renewed wave of antitrust scrutiny. Regulators in the US and Europe opened investigations into whether Amazon favored its own products over those of third-party sellers on its marketplace. Politicians questioned whether Amazon's control of digital infrastructure via AWS, combined with its dominance in online retail, constituted excessive market power. Jeff Bezos testified before the US Congress in 2020, defending the company's practices and emphasizing the value Amazon provides to consumers and small businesses alike. Despite such challenges, the COVID-19 pandemic accelerated Amazon's influence even further. As lockdowns gripped various countries, consumers turned to online shopping for essentials, and Amazon's orders skyrocketed. The company rapidly hired hundreds of thousands of new workers to meet demand, ramped up safety protocols, and still faced criticism for worker conditions during a crisis. Financially, Amazon's revenues surged, driven not just by e-commerce but also by a spike in demand for cloud services. The pandemic underscored how deeply Amazon's infrastructure was woven into modern life. People relied on it for groceries, household goods, and digital connectivity more than ever. In 2021, Bezos stepped down as CEO, handing the reins to Andy Jassy, who had been the driving force behind AWS. Bezos moved into an executive chairman role, focusing on initiatives such as Blue Origin and philanthropic endeavors like the Bezos Earth Fund. For many observers, this transition marked the end of an era. Yet Amazon continues to march on, wielding enormous clout in global retail, logistics, entertainment, and computing. From its earliest days as an online bookstore, Amazon has often been dubbed a miracle for its improbable rise and near-constant reinvention. At the core of this miracle stands a leadership philosophy relentlessly fixated on customer satisfaction. Bezos famously said that customers are divinely discontent, always wanting more, and it's Amazon's job to keep raising the bar. This approach has driven innovations like one-click ordering, customer reviews, personalized recommendations, and frictionless returns policy. Skeptics point out that Amazon's single-minded focus on customers can come at the expense of small vendors, employees, and local communities. Even so, this philosophy has proven powerful at creating loyalty among countless shoppers. The company's story is also a testament to the power of patience and long-term vision in the business world. In the face of quarterly expectations and shareholder impatience, Bezos consistently championed big bets that might not pay off for years. The risk-taking spirit at Amazon has produced major successes, like AWS and Prime, and also some less triumphant endeavors, such as the Fire Phone. Yet in the broader context, Amazon's willingness to experiment and accept occasional failure has generally propelled it forward, transforming it into a sprawling tech conglomerate that competes in sectors as diverse as cloud computing, streaming entertainment, consumer electronics, and grocery retail. Critics, however, warn that Amazon's scale and influence are reaching dangerous levels. As brick-and-mortar competitors struggle or close, concerns arise over Amazon's labor practices, data usage, and treatment of third-party sellers. Some labor unions and advocacy groups argue that fulfillment center workers endure punishing quotas, with little recourse. Others worry about how third-party sellers are subject to Amazon's whims, whether through changed algorithms, new fees, or sudden account shutdown. There is also anxiety about data privacy, as Amazon collects enormous amounts of customer data through shopping habits, Alexa voice queries, and streaming behaviors. The question remains how best to balance consumer convenience with ethical business practices. Even with these debates, it's indisputable that Amazon's achievements have changed global commerce. The idea of having nearly any product delivered to your doorstep in days, sometimes hours, has become normal in many parts of the world. The Kindle has broadened the reach of digital reading, providing a lifeline for self-published authors and democratizing access to literature. AWS powers thousands of websites and apps, from small startups to giants like Netflix. Prime Video contends for Emmy Awards and Oscar nomination, reshaping Hollywood's streaming landscape. And Amazon's push into grocery retail with the acquisition of Whole Foods Market suggests that even supermarkets are not immune to its transformative ambition. Jeff Bezos himself, now one of the wealthiest individuals in the world, remains a polarizing figure. Admirers see him as a visionary who revolutionized retail and technology through sheer boldness, intellect, and execution. Detractors see him as an emblem of extreme wealth concentration, labor exploitation, and monopolistic tendency. Yet beyond the personal controversy, his departure as CEO offers an interesting vantage point on legacy. It's reminiscent of other tech founders, like Bill Gates at Microsoft, who step away after decades, leaving behind a towering empire and a complicated record to assess. What Amazon looks like in the coming years, under Andy Jassy's leadership, will help us see whether the miracle has truly matured into a stable, diversified enterprise or whether new chapters of explosive growth and controversy lie ahead. Already, the company is pushing into healthcare, with telemedicine services, pharmacy offerings, and wearable fitness trackers. It's also exploring satellite internet through Project Kuiper, reminiscent of Elon Musk's Starlink. Internationally, Amazon will likely try to deepen its foothold in regions like Southeast Asia, Latin America, and Africa, confronting new regulatory landscapes and local competition. In summary, the miracle of Amazon is both a tribute to the ingenuity of Jeff Bezos and a manifestation of how the internet can upend entire industry. Amazon's story has inspired countless entrepreneurs to dream big, focus relentlessly on customer needs, and think in the long term. But it also stands as a reminder that immense scale brings immense responsibility. As it continues to expand and redefine what's possible in e-commerce, cloud technology, digital media, and beyond, Amazon invites ongoing questions about the balance between innovation and accountability. Whether you view it as a shining example of entrepreneurial achievement or a juggernaut that needs reining in, there's no denying that Amazon and Bezos have shaped the contours of modern business in ways that are destined to endure for decades to come.